the Emo Hour, your weekly power hour of all things emo and adjacent, with your hosts, Katie and Nani.
Hello and welcome to the Emo Hour.
Hello.
It's your host, Katie and Nani.
You're
Hi,
Nani.
Katie. I'm Katie. No, you're Nani.
We're doing great. You're Nani. I'm Katie. And we're back.
We're back. Yeah, we are. It's 2026 and we're back.
Yep. We took a little hiatus, but I think let's just jump right into it. So, Nani, I have a familiar question for you.
A burning question.
What's making you emo this week?
It's the fact that we're back. It's pretty straightforward, but I am sitting over here with the biggest smile on my face, and it feels so weird to be back because we took a breather of a break, and I feel rusty at the same time. So I have all these different emotions of just pure excitement, adrenaline, a little bit of weird nervousness. I don't know why I'm a little nervous.
Okay.
But I think I'm feeling emo about all of it because it's just so awesome to be back and doing this with you, and the fact that it's 2026. What happened to the time? I don't know what's going on.
Time is an illusion. Yeah, well, I'm glad that you're feeling emo about it. And I'm excited too. I'm not nervous. I don't think I would use the word adrenaline.
I have adrenaline. It's excitement though.
Yeah, I am excited.
Yeah, me too. And you know, I guess this is kind of the perfect little moment to just say that when we left things, I don't know, was it like about a month and a half ago? I can't even remember how long it's been.
It was October.
Get out, really?
Sometime in October, yeah.
Oh my gosh, it doesn't feel like, again, time is an illusion. Yeah. But yeah, we had done an entire year of episodes once per week, which we realized just was a little bit too much for our schedules. And so we sat down and did some recalibrating and figured out what worked best for us. And so going forward, we're going to do longer, more in-depth kind of episodes and do it on a cadence of once a month.
Once a month. So
yeah, I don't know what else you have to add to that, but I figured that's maybe the shortest version of it.
Yeah, well, we can put all the blame on me. I will say it was fully too much for me and my schedule. And I very much needed the break to just feel a little refreshed, which that word I think I'm going to use a lot today, actually. It's a word that I used in my notes a lot, like getting ready for this episode. Once a month will be more manageable for me, definitely. I won't speak for you, but I think I was the driving factor there. And I'm looking forward to like higher quality episodes. That's what I think we'll get out. Sometimes they will be longer, yes, but we are still the Emo Hour, so I'm looking forward to more what I consider higher quality episodes. Let's do some more interviews.
I use the word in depth.
Yeah. So that's the plan moving forward. Get ready for some great new content. Listen to us. We're just social media girls. We are. Okay, so I thought you might say that your pink hair is making you emo, though.
Oh, well, I was going to fit it in at some point, but yes.
Sorry,
New
I
year.
spoiled.
No, new year, new hair. I, without like totally sidelining it, went to Mexico and was there with a hairdresser, and I've always wanted to dye my hair pink, and so I did, but right now it is a very light hue of pink. At one point it was like hot pink. It's one of those, like, what do you call it? It's semi-temporary dye?
Semi-permanent, yeah.
So semi-permanent. So right now it looks kind of, would you call it rose gold?
Yeah, that's what it's more like rose gold or pastel pink now, I would say. But for a while, I was like, is it a lavender now? Like, it's been transforming.
Talk about new year, new me.
Yeah.
Transformations left and right.
Right.
Okay, well, enough about me. Katie, what's making you emo this week?
So what's making me emo this week, I think, is just general nostalgia right now, which I think wraps into what we do here pretty much every episode, is there's definitely some nostalgia. Specifically, I mean, there's a lot of factors that I've been thinking about with this nostalgia, but the most recent one was Hilary Duff's first performance in 18 years, I think it was, which just happened a couple days ago as of recording in London, I think it was. And
It was.
she like sang some of her old songs. She's got new music coming out. I've watched her new music videos, and man, that woman, like, she looks fantastic. For one, her new music seems like they're total bangers, and just hearing the older songs is very nostalgic for sure.
This is so funny. I did so much research into this because I was so one thing that the listeners probably don't know about the way that we go about this is we generally surprise each other on every episode, kind of the things that we're bringing to the table,
Right,
on purpose. And one of the things that I was going to talk about in our emo news at the end was Hilary Duff's comeback tour, which is just so awesome. No. Let's talk about it for a minute. Did you watch all the clips that have been around, like, surfacing around the internet?
I've watched quite a few. Yeah, I'm sure I haven't seen all of them, but she does her iconic dance that has been a meme for so long that she did on like Good Morning America or something
I think the Today Show.
Okay, the Today Show, where it's just like the choreography is bad and she just has like zero energy, and she did it live, which I was like, oh, that's the best. Like, it's great to be like self-deprecating, and bring that up again, because that dance has become iconic in like the weirdest way.
I so agree with you, and I love that I felt like she was just really, like you said, self-deprecating. I felt like she was like playful and like didn't take it seriously. She leaned into the kind of the cringiness of all of it, which I really appreciate, because I feel like we live in such a prim and proper, like, she was just being very human about all of it.
Yeah.
Also, her outfits were amazing.
They were, especially like the denim-y suit that she had, or set. It's not a suit, but yeah, she looked great. She looks great. Like, she's fit. She looks great. I was just like, she looks strong. I was like, damn, girl, good for you.
I know, right? Mom of like multiple children.
Yeah.
And what did I put down for this? Let me look just really quick to make sure that we touched on the. Go ahead.
There's other nostalgia things that I wanted to mention too, but that was just like the most recent one.
Okay, well, I was going to say, so you'd said London. So she started in London. It's 4 dates. So she did London, is going to do Toronto, then New York, and then LA. And if I could have been there to see what is it? Hey, now this is what dreams are made of. Mm-hmm. I would have lost my mind. But they're all like smaller. They're all smaller kind of underplay venues.
Right.
And I feel like they were really specific and thoughtful about making it like her background was really beautiful. She kind of looked like a Disney princess with the lighting. Everything was kind of pink and blue, and she looked amazing. So
she did. She did.
Okay. Sorry, I had to talk about that a little bit. I was so excited when you said that.
No, that's funny. I didn't know you had that for like news to talk about too, but like that feels so nostalgic. The What Dreams Are Made Of is how she closed off that set. We a few weeks ago went to the Sphere to see Backstreet Boys, and holy hell, was that just all the nostalgia. And we had to talk about it at least a little bit, but we went with a group of girlfriends, and I screamed some like authentic screams that I did not anticipate. I mean, when they popped out of the ground at the very intro of Larger Than Life, I screamed out loud. And then after that song was over, that was the opening song, Larger Than Life, I said, this is the best concert I've ever been to. After one song.
I know. I was going to bring that up. I remember so vividly. Like, I don't even remember them popping up necessarily. I more remember you looking at me and going, this is the best concert I've ever been to. And I can't say it was the best concert I've ever been to, but it was amazing.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Like, amazing. And they did such a good job within the Sphere. I thought that the way they're just, somebody was talking about who was bigger, right, back in the day, and I think that this is a conversation that could go on and on and on.
Right.
But my personal belief is that NSYNC was bigger back in the day.
And I agree with you. I was more of an NSYNC girly.
Me too. And then now, fast forward however many years it's been, like, I think that Backstreet Boys is bigger and better than ever at this point in their career. Like, think of the things that they've conquered in the last 10 years alone. It's pretty dang cool. And the fact that the Sphere tickets are such a hot ticket to get, like, and our seats, I'm sorry, I'm going to just be a little, to be a little extra here. We had amazing seats.
We
like,
did.
Thank you so much. I don't know. Well, no. Like, thanks to, I guess thanks to intern Nani and young Nani, who like paved her way and paid her dues so that I can ask for the favors. But like, that was, I wouldn't have wanted to see that show anywhere else. We could see like the wrinkles on their face, but also see all of the beauty that the Sphere had to offer. I mean, it takes quite a bit for me to be like, oh my God, these seats are amazing. Like, I didn't expect them to be that good.
Yeah. Well, they were incredible, and we could see the dance moves that are 25 years old perfectly well, too. And the fact that I said after the first song, this is the best concert I've ever been to, like, that's ridiculous. But that's...
No, it's not.
It was because it was... And, like, if I really thought about it, I don't know if that would actually be my answer, but it might be. And a lot of the reason for that, though, is just, like, the feeling that it came with, right? More so, I mean, the Sphere is an incredible thing. We've both been there twice now for different shows. I went and saw the Eagles there, and this was a much different experience. But it was just like them popping out of the ground truly was a moment that I've since watched on like Instagram Reels. I've found other videos, and I just like fully did not expect it at the time, you know?
Right.
And they just shot up out of the ground. And I screamed. And then, like, it was just, like, so much energy immediately. And it was just, like, everybody was there to have such a great time. And it was just, like, the energy and the feeling that I had during the whole thing, but especially during that first song, Larger Than Life. And I was just like, holy shit. It was awesome.
It was an incredible show. It's in the top 10 shows that I've probably seen in my life, I would say. No question. That venue ruins things for other venue. It's how do you compare?
Yeah.
And especially when you do it right. Like, I think that we're going to hit a point in which it feels like people are pressing the easy button on going into the Sphere, but I don't feel like they hit the easy button. Like, when I saw Anima there, I think Anima and Backstreet Boys were probably more similar than the Eagles and Backstreet Boys.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. Like,
higher
did you
energy
feel
for sure.
Yeah. And so I want to go to another show there and just compare it yet again. Like, it'd be fun to see a country concert or something like that. But for me, too, I thought that was an incredible show. The dancing was so good.
Yeah.
Like, a couple of those guys are pushing, like...
No, they're right around 50.
50?
Yeah, they're right around 50.
They look so good. They're so in the pocket on their performances. Their voices sound great. Even... what's his face, who's been struggling with his voice for... Yeah, Brian, who's been struggling with his voice for so long. He sounded good. I'm sure he's getting some aid, like, in his microphone and maybe some auto-tune.
Yeah.
But they did a really beautiful job.
Yeah, it was great. And, like, the fact that a boy band has been together that long and is putting on such an amazing show, it was so much fun. And then I have a third nostalgia thing.
Oh my God, say more.
Which I think we can keep,
great.
Which we can keep a little bit short. But this 2016 trend that's happening on Instagram and TikTok and all that, where everybody's like, 2026 is the new 2016, and sharing all their photos from 10 years ago, which I did as well. And it's just fun to look back, and it's crazy to look back and think that 2016 was 10 years ago. And like looking at all the pictures that I shared of that year, I was like, I had a pretty busy year and like did a lot of cool things. And part of that is just like I had more freedom then than I do now. I'm still doing cool things, just differently. But I just like all of these things together has just made me feel very nostalgic and made me very emo.
I am so with you. And also, again, time is an illusion. I cannot believe it's been a decade.
Yeah.
Also, your bangs, you posted some photos. Your bangs from 2016. Oh my God. I never met you with bangs, and you never met me with my Neapolitan hair.
Right.
Or like my super short haircut that I had at one point where I was like, one side was shaved and I had steps in it.
Right.
But Oh, guess what? I still have my Backstreet Boy nails on right now.
Oh, yes,
My
you do.
my sparkly nails.
You're obsessed with those.
I
They do look beautiful. But
I
my friend Jenny commented on my bangs too. And I was like, I had bangs for a very long time. A very long time.
Yeah,
that was
I'm
the
here
thing.
for it. You definitely still I feel like you still had a through line of emo in you in 2016.
Oh, of course. Always.
So, yeah, seeing some of those photos, I'm like, oh my God. It's also crazy that I didn't know you in 2016, you know?
I know. Yeah. It is crazy. Life, man.
That's one of the beautiful things about life is you continue to, like, we don't know all the people that we're going to know and are going to love and are going to love us. And that's like a really beautiful thought to think about the future.
Yeah, totally. And it's just crazy how people come in and out of your life. What's that saying? People are in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime?
Yep.
A reason, a season, or a lifetime.
Yeah.
Which is true. It's great.
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Well, should we get into the topic at hand for
We should.
the episode, which is kind of a two-parter because I think at least what I think we're going to do is, so Katie, it kind of feels like SNL right now. Michael Che and Colin Jost, like surprising each other with things that we don't know about. So Katie went back and listened to the very first, no,
I think
the
it was
first
actually
episode.
our second episode of the year last year, but it was the episode that we did, like intentions or manifestations for 2025. So that's what I listened to. And I'm looking up the title of that right now because I should probably have known that.
Oh, it's okay. But so you went back and listened to those, and you're going to read back both of ours to us. I don't remember what mine were at all. I had a very crazy busy year last year that it just was so many things, and I don't really remember what all of my intentions were. I probably should have revisited them at the end of this past year, but that's okay.
No, that's what we're doing now.
So it's going to be a total surprise for me.
So
Were you surprised by yours? Did you remember yours?
pretty much I remembered mine, and I pretty much remembered yours too. But that's the difference between you and I.
You're a lawyer, man. Steel trap.
I definitely recalled, like, generally speaking, most of what we talked about. But it was very fun to go listen to it. So it's the episode that we released on January 8th of 2025, and the title is 2025 New Year, Same Emos. It was our 11th episode. So
Wow.
that's interesting.
Because it was 11.
Exactly. You do have a thing with 11. So here we are revisiting our 11th episode. But I just kind of want to go through everything that we talked about, honestly.
Okay.
But first is just a fun thing. What was making us emo for this episode last year? I talked about Fish Hat Bob. Do you remember that?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So I just looked up Fish Hat Bob. It's bestfishhat.com. It was like a trend or went viral on TikTok and Instagram last year. This silly hat that this really old man was selling, kind of in memory of his brother who had passed away. It was a very sweet story. But they're still selling. There's still a website, bestfishhat.com. So go check that out if you want to. You did 2 What's Making You Emos. You were like, I changed it, and then you're like, I'm just going to talk about both of them. So you talked about the announcement of the Anberlin and Copeland tour, which we went to. Yeah, in March.
So good.
Which was so great. But you talked about how excited you are that it was coming to Boise, and we talked about going, and that you're such a big fan of Copeland. And I mean, big fan of both, but definitely a big fan of Copeland. I'm also a fan of both, but bigger fan of Anberlin. So it was like a perfect show for us to go to. And then you talked about reconnecting with your friend Ryan Schmidt, I think it was. Who's a music lawyer, and he was posting advice as a music lawyer on Instagram, and you were just like, this is so cool that you're doing this. It's so great and so helpful. And then you guys reconnected, and you said it's so great to reconnect with old friends, and we need to get him on the pod, which we still do.
We do, and it's been so cool because over the last year, he's just gained more and more traction as it relates to, so he's on TikTok, on Instagram, Ryan Schmidt, and he he's also a singer-songwriter. Like when we were in college together, he was a singer-songwriter. But he has like gotten into it with like Timbaland and all sorts of stuff on the internet. It's been really cool to watch because of all these different battles around AI and Suno and all these AI generated like artists, and where creativity and AI are meeting, and just the legalities. And he's always on the side of the artist. He's just such an advocate. So that's really cool.
Yeah, but we do. Let's get him scheduled.
Yeah,
for
we will.
Because that would be
Yes,
great.
we definitely will.
So that was our intro. I just had to write those down too. But then we went into our 2025 manifestations or intentions, and you went first, and your first one was to it was the year that you were going to truly open yourself up to love and try to find your person. So that was very sweet.
Are we doing updates on all of this stuff?
I think we should, but I can tell you we had, a conversation about it. I asked you if you were open to being set up on a date, and you said yes. And you said something like bad dates are still good experiences. And we talked about how you get to, have an experience and meet someone and get to know someone. And that's great. But you said you've been kind of closed off in the past and you really wanted to open yourself up more.
Yeah. Aside from signing up for like all of the dating apps that are in existence, I can give you an update on all these things. Still single.
And
unfortunately,
ready to mingle.
Still single. But I will say that it's actually one of the things, because we are also going to talk about the things that we're proud of for 2025. So I guess this parlays into that a little bit. But I am proud of myself because I do think that I opened myself up. I do think that I had more connections with potential, we'll just call them persons, right? With like potential mates.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, dating prospects.
Yeah.
So I definitely
Suitors.
know that suitors, yes, male suitors. I definitely think that I'm proud of the fact that I was more open. And frankly, I find myself using the word frankly all the time, by the way. That is,
Which you think you picked up from me, right?
100%. There's no question.
My mom says it quite a bit too, I've noticed. Since you pointed it out to me, I didn't ever really realize that I say it.
Yeah, well, it's all your mom's fault, I guess.
Yeah,
but it's nobody's fault. It's a great word. But I just had to point that out. I've been meaning to tell you that for a while, and it just popped into my brain. So I think that a lot of the progress actually was made in like the last quarter of 2025 for me.
Great.
And I kind of just got to this point where I was like, what, like, why do I care? Like, I just need to like stop, like for lack of terms, stop giving a shit. You know what I mean? And sometimes with that release of just stop giving a shit, it just, I don't know, there was just like a lack of pressure on my shoulders. And I think that's part of what happened. To be fair, there were a couple instances in which there were people that I found out were interested in me that I wasn't interested in. I did make the decision not to pursue that. So I think that maybe there are still aspects in which I will choose not to, but that's like a personal choice, right? I believe in like a scenario in which if you're not interested, don't string the other person or lead the other person along. But I also think that in those instances, I don't necessarily give that person a shot. So I think I'll continue to be a little bit more thoughtful about that in the future.
Okay. Yeah.
But I do think that I made progress. Did I make the most progress? No, but I'm happy with the progress I made.
That's great. Yeah. And I mean, I agree with you. We obviously talk about this a fair amount. And I know I've definitely encouraged you to like give people a chance a little bit more. And I understand, like, you have an idea of who someone is based on your experience with them, and you're like, I'm not interested. I can understand that. But also the dynamic can be different. And, like, why not give it a shot? I'm not encouraging stringing somebody along, but like give it a real shot,
Yeah.
And I say that, and I've said this before, and my husband says this too. Like the first time I met Travis, I was not impressed. So like things can change.
Yeah. Also, I really thought you were going to quote Hillary Duff on that. If you were like, why not do a crazy dance?
Oh my God. I don't think I know her lyrics that well, but that would have been perfect.
Oh, I was such a fan.
Yeah.
Still am.
Well, I am so glad you've made progress, and I think progress is important, right? And if you continue to open yourself up, there'll be more progress, and I'm excited to see what happens. So I went next with my intention, and my first one was to go on a trip with Travis for the purpose of going on a trip together. And
That's right.
What I meant by that was we have gone on a fair amount of trips, but they're always kind of the same old trips, or like for another purpose. It's like we'll go see family, we'll go to a wedding, we'll go do whatever, and I really wanted to get away from that and try to do something for us. Unfortunately, that didn't. I also talked about going international, which honestly, after the episode, I was like, international is probably a little too big for me right now with the age of my daughter. Like, I think that was probably out of my comfort zone at the time for us to go on a trip international without her. And I think, unfortunately, we just kind of got wrapped into the same old stuff. Like, we still went on trips, but it was kind of the same old trips. Like, we went to see family, whatever. Like, we did some great and really fun things. But what we did do that was a little bit different was our Vegas trip together. But my dad came for a night to go see the Eagles. And then my dad left. And then Travis and I had like 2 nights in Vegas with the 2 of us. And that was great. So I'm going to chalk that up to a partial win there, but I'm carrying that intention over to this year to try to do something. And honestly, the 2 of us or with Reagan. And that's something we'll talk about later, I guess, is 2026 intentions. But didn't quite get where I wanted to there, but it just becomes hard when we have busy work schedules. We have like these trips that we tend to go on already, and like, how do you squeeze something else in? So I'll take a partial win on our Vegas trip.
I'm going to say progress. That's still progress, though.
Yeah.
Like the fact that you still found days in which it was the 2 of you. That's all that matters. That's progress.
Yeah. And my dad was only there for one night because Vegas is not his scene at all. And he came for the Eagles, and then we hung out for another couple days, and we had a great time. And we've never done Vegas. Like, he's done Vegas a lot. He loves it. And we have done it together with other friends, but it was like just the 2 of us. So that was great.
I love that.
Okay. And then you went next, travel related. And you set the intention to travel more, and specifically to do some international travel, to do some solo travel, to push yourself because you like to push your boundaries a bit. And you mentioned like do something every day that scares you. And specifically, you were looking for warmth in your travel and looking at Mexico and Central America. And let me just say, you crushed this intention for last year, because I don't even know how many countries you went to.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool that I don't remember that being one of them. I think it was a goal because I knew that I wanted to take advantage of a flexible year that has turned into more than just a flexible year, but it also got some constraints that I wasn't planning on too. But wow, that's so cool. So yes, I did 5 continents in 5 months, and I think if you're a consistent listener to the podcast, you probably know this because we talk about my travels through like a lot of the travels that I did over the past year on the podcast. One of the things that ended up being a really hard thing for us too, that I think actually played into our ability to do the podcast so frequently, is at one point we were like in different days, and we were still like, it was a Monday for me and a Tuesday for you, or vice versa. Can't remember exactly, but it was pretty amazing that we found the time to do all of it. But the travel was wonderful. Was it warm? not as warm. I didn't go to Central America. No, Mexico's in North America. I didn't do Central America, but I did many areas of Mexico, and so I definitely found warmth there. And I did push myself in a lot of places because a lot of the travel I did was solo, and it was in places I've never been before, and in languages and environments that sometimes when you get to a place, your instinct is to like, you know what, I'm really tired and jet lag is setting in. I might just take a nap really quick at the hotel. And I told myself, no, just get outside, take a walk, see what happens. And because there was definitely moments of my travels where I was like a little, not apprehensive, but just like, I don't know what's outside. And sometimes when you don't know, like the unknown can be a little bit scary, even for somebody as, I don't want to call myself bold, but I do think I make bold choices in putting myself in places that do scare me a little bit or make me a little bit uncomfortable. And I always find like through that like pushing through that uncomfortable just lands you into something really beautiful. And so I remember the first night I was in Tokyo, I was like, oh my gosh, like, what do I do? What do I do? And I just was like, no, Nani, leave the hotel room, go take a walk. And I ended up having the best ramen of the entire trip that night.
Yes. So, you never know what happens. Just say yes.
Yep, exactly. I did have a year of yes. That was that was a wild, well, no, the year that I actually just kind of said yes to everything, that was a crazy year. But no, I do feel like I crushed that goal. So go me.
Absolutely did. I totally agree. You crushed it. I mean, one of the really special things that I know we've talked about previously is that we recapped so much of it on so many of the episodes. And I think that's really cool for you to be able to go back and listen to in the future and remember what you did and remember everywhere you went, because you did so much traveling that I imagine it's hard to even remember what all you did and where all you went.
Yeah. And it was so awesome because, well, one, it was really cool things to talk about on the podcast. And it was so much research for me too, because I was doing a lot of research and like around arts and environments and experiential things. And I saw so much. It just was such a gift. It was such a gift. The only thing that I would have changed is it would have been awesome if you could have come with me, or if more friends could, like it would have been awesome for us to go do some of it together. But it's just different lifestyles, right?
Yeah. You had some friends that were able to join you for certain legs, and that's great. Yeah. I mean, you certainly have friends that I'm also friends with that have quite a bit of flexibility in their lives. So I'm glad that you guys were able to take advantage of that.
Yeah. Oh, actually, this Luego is from Mexico City. That's behind me. Oh. It's a famous artist from Mexico City, because we were there during their art week in Mexico City. So
okay, yeah. No, you did a crazy amount of traveling, so you crushed that intention for sure. Good for you. I mean, you always are a traveler, but it was on a different level, in my opinion, last year.
For sure. And it was cut short a little bit because I started another job, but that job has given me also really cool flexibility.
Right.
So kind of made it all the things work. Okay, so what was your next one?
So my next one was to meet Tom and or Mark from Blink-182. And during that conversation, it was a week after we talked about how like you've met Tom a couple times, and you have connections with the band. But the week before we had recorded that episode was the first time we went to the Covey, and Tom was there with his wife and adult children. And you and I were like sitting at the bar, and he was in the corner, and it wasn't like a great opportunity for me to try to be like, hey, but you snuck in and said hi because they were sitting at a table next to one of your friends. So that was, we talked about that, but my intention was like, I'd like to meet one or both of them this year. And
oh my God,
met both of them. And to be honest with you, this maybe felt like the least what am I trying to say? The hardest thing to accomplish, potentially, even though like they both own places in town, they are in town. It still felt like it would maybe be a reach, you know?
Right.
And we talked about on the podcast. I mean, the meeting of Mark, we ran into him on a hike with his wife. He was going the opposite direction as us on the trail. I had my daughter on my back. Like that is some genuine shock and excitement that I will never forget, honestly.
Because I think, if I remember correctly, you just said out loud, "Oh my God."
Yeah, I looked at him in his eyes and said, "Oh my God," because I just like I was wearing a hat and I looked up the trail and he was just right there and I just said, "Oh my God," and then we had an interaction, like we were with another friend of ours too, and I just was like, "I'm a big fan." I mean, we talked about it already, but like the genuine shock of that meeting is crazy, and like meeting them, you know, setting the intention of meeting them, I wouldn't have thought I'm going to run into them on a hiking trail.
Yeah. And then either later that day or like maybe like a week later or something, we went to a restaurant and we were having dinner ourselves and they were there together.
Yep.
Both Mark and Tom.
Yep.
Oh, you're probably going to say this. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, well, no, so like, but the meeting of Mark was just like so unexpected, you know, that like I'm just never going to forget that. And then, yes, it was, I think a few days later or something, we went out to dinner and walked in the door and there they are at like the first table when you walk in, sitting across from each other with their wives and with another couple. And I was just like, oh my God, they're both here.
But they looked at us.
Yeah.
And Mark remembered.
Yeah, we chatted with them. Again, you have a connection. You know, you've met Tom a few times, so you were able to kind of sneak in and start the conversation. And then, yeah, Mark remembered that he saw us on the trail. He remembered your name, Nani, and he remembered that I had a child on my back and brought that up. Well, I think I said, we saw you on the trail the other day. One of us said that. And then he said, like, yeah, you had this talk. Then he was talking to Tom, was like, she had a child on her back. But yeah, I'd call that success. Met Mark on a hiking trail and then met them both at the restaurant. So crushed it.
Oh my gosh, go us. That is awesome. That is so great because I also took that on as one of my goals because I wanted to make sure that it happened.
Yeah,
and
you're
but
very
nobody,
good about that.
Nobody could have ever, like that was just like what a beautiful, like kismet, serendipitous moment.
Right, truly. I mean, the hiking trail especially, like that was just unreal to me. The restaurant makes more sense, you know, like it still
How
was
many hikes
shocking.
did we go on? Like of all that, like, come on, let's be real. How many hikes did the three of us go on? Like you and me, maybe 5?
Oh, I mean, you and I together, like the hikes that we went on together, maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, like we can count on one hand.
Yeah, for sure. And we happen to be together during that one. I mean, I go on short hikes with my dog more than, you know, but those are usually just by myself. So yes, kismet. That's a good word for it.
So cool.
So your next intention was to be more present with the people that you are with. And we talked about like cell phones being a distraction. And you specifically said being present is difficult for you. But you really wanted to do that more. And I asked you if there was like a signal or something that I should give you if you're not being present. And I said, I felt like I called you out on it quite a bit already. And we agreed that I should just say rude if you ever are not present. So where do you think you're at with that intention?
Oh, I should ask you that question. I don't remember you saying rude except maybe once last year.
Okay. I'm sure I said it more than that, but I don't remember.
Also probably said in like a joking fashion too in other scenarios. I think that I've gotten better. I think that my lifestyle this past year has been one of scattered because physically I was scattered, mentally scattered, like working on projects left and right, doing a bunch of different things, seeing friends, geographically speaking, just all over the place. And so that doesn't lend itself to like the most calm, straightforward brain. And so I've been giving myself grace around it. But I do think that I've been more intentional to slow down and focus when I am with people. And that's not to say that I'm perfect every time, but I've been much more mindful about it consistently throughout the year. I can say without question. So
Great.
I do think I've gotten better.
Yeah.
But am I perfect? No, absolutely
Well, nobody
not.
is. I think it's something that everyone struggles with, and smartphones, frankly, and social media is a big part of that struggle because it's just an easy distraction all the time. I think the most important thing is just to be mindful and intentional about it. And I agree. I mean, I think you are very scattered and you've got a bunch of you're really good at fostering your connections with people, whether that's through group text messages or people that you see in person. And so I think you make that a priority, and I don't necessarily. So I think that makes it easier for me to stay a little present. Like we've talked about that. Like you are more than happy to connect with a person anytime you see them, when I sometimes try to actively avoid people. Like if I don't have anything substantive to say, then I'm just like, I don't need to have a conversation with you right now.
Yeah.
So I think that's just your personality. And, I think that that's just a difference in our personalities. But I think the most important thing is to be mindful and intentional about it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah, like I'm thinking about today at lunch, because we got lunch today, you guys. We are ladies who lunch. We like to lunch together a lot.
we do.
And like I was thinking about the number of times that I picked up my phone today at lunch, maybe once, maybe twice, like really just setting it down and getting rid of it and not picking it up. And it's interesting because of the last year and being around different folks in different cities and whatever, you actually do realize how I think it's part of our culture here in the town that we live in that we are better at detaching than folks that are like in a bigger city. And because I don't think that it has anything necessarily to do with our work, because I can say that what I'm doing right now is 24/7 all the time. And your stuff is coming in 24/7 all the time. You are really good at setting boundaries and whatnot. I think I'm not quite as good as you are with boundary setting, but I do think that part of it too is where we live and the culture of like not feeling like you have to be on your phone, or the person that you're with. I don't know, sometimes you mirror the behavior of the people that you're with. And so like if somebody's on their phone, then the other person's going to get on their phone, and it's a vicious cycle. So,
right.
So yeah, I don't know. I do think I'm better than I was, but I don't think I'm 100%. And I don't know that I'll ever be 100%, right? But I think I'm definitely mindful about it.
Good. Yeah, and like I think it's an everybody problem. So I think just being mindful is good.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then our last intention that we kind of like, it was podcast related, so we'll just kind of talk about it together. But we both set an intention about like more success with the podcast. So I specifically said monetize the podcast, which I would say check mark. We did.
We monetized it.
We did. We don't have to go into any more detail, but we did. And I wanted more followers on Instagram and TikTok.
Actually, can we go back for just a second? Sure. Like, if you listen to this podcast and you do want to support us, we never talk about this, but there are ways to support us. You can go onto our like you can click into our Buzzsprout, like through Spotify, through whatever you listen. And there are options to give like $1 per month, $1 per week, $5 per week, $5 per month. Yes. So if it's ever something that you're interested in doing and you can't figure it out, you can always DM us on Instagram at the Emo Hour. But really, like every dollar does help us, because at the beginning we paid for everything and we still pay for a lot of stuff, but we are able to subsidize a nice chunk of things. So, yeah, if you're ever wanting to do that, I think that's really awesome.
Yes.
We love what we do.
We do. And you just generally said like more success with the podcast and learning new technologies. So, I mean, I think that's absolutely a work in progress always, but certainly have had success there as well.
Can we say what happened earlier before we hopped on? You were trying to figure out your...
Sure. Yeah. It's been a while. We were a little rusty.
Yeah, we definitely have learned technologies. We've gotten so much better at it. Like, I feel so much more comfortable in the platforms that we're using and the technologies that we're using. I do always laugh because we still have the most ridiculous tech problems. For instance, your microphone wasn't plugged in earlier.
Yeah.
And I think it's so good that we have these like just really obvious things that it's like, oh, I forgot to turn the button on. And then there was and then successes. I mean, we are the number 4 music commentary podcast in Poland.
That's true.
We did do an emo night in Boise. We did do emo trivia. We did an emo night in Ketchum. Like, we did a lot of these. We did a lot of really cool things.
We did.
And we have some very exciting things that are coming up that we're excited to announce.
Yes.
We can't quite announce it yet, but I think that we have made continuous baby steps of improvement week over week, month over month, however you want to look at it.
Absolutely.
And we've had a lot of interesting traction and eyes on our account that I would have never, like, really famous bands.
Yeah.
Different feedback, likes, all the different, like, repostings, stuff like that has happened that I think continuously surprises us, which is pretty cool. Because those are little markers of wins.
Yeah, and even during our little hiatus too, we were seeing traction and attention on our stuff. So keep looking out on our Instagram and TikTok. Part of the idea with going on a monthly episode is we intend to ramp up our social media game quite a bit. So follow us on there for sure at the Emo Hour. Do you want me to share the emo lyrics that we closed with last year?
Sure. I'm kind of curious.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just keep it short because that was pretty much those were our intentions. That was like the end of the episode, and then we did the lyrics. So you chose Petty Hendrix, the song Be Okay, and the lyric was, I want to feel the rush, I want to feel alive. And that's like what you wanted to go into 2025 with, that like sentiment. And yeah, I know why you're giggling, but I'm not going to comment. So
yeah, I definitely still want to feel the rush and I want to feel alive.
Yeah.
I think that it just makes me smile so much because there's so many, there's a lot of depth to that statement. Mm-hmm. But I do also think that I felt the rush and felt alive throughout 2025.
Beautiful.
And I don't know, living life. It's a beautiful thing.
But
is. I had no idea that was I remember that lyric, but I didn't know it was that lyric from that episode.
It was. And you specifically said, like, that's how you want to go into 2025. I was like, that's great. I chose a lyric from Rain City Drive. The song is called Talk to a Friend. And the lyric is, I wouldn't talk to a friend the way I talk to myself. The voice in my head really needs some help. And kind of the sentiment that I expressed around that was that this Christmas and New Year's can be really difficult for some people. And that's kind of how we closed out the episode, was just like, be easy on yourself, give yourself grace. A lot of people have a really hard time during December and January. And that's why I chose that lyric. And you mentioned last New Year's, so coming into 2025, you were in Stanley at the Rod and Gun, and Tripp kind of shared something that resonated with you, with a similar sentiment of give yourself grace and let's all be nice to each other and be nice to other people and be present. And that was how we ended the episode. It was really lovely.
Oh my gosh, it makes me want to go back and listen to it. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Thank you for recapping it and bringing it to the table for this episode, because I think that's a really beautiful thing to look back, recount, and to see that we've made personal and professional progress as it relates to us individually as friends and as podcast mates and all the things. Like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It was nice. It was good to go back and listen. So you should check it out.
I love that. Well, that kind of parlays into the fact that it's a new year. We have new intentions, or continued possibly. Mm-hmm. We've got things that maybe we're most proud of for 2025. So I don't know. Where do you want to go next, Katie?
Maybe, I mean, you brought up the idea of saying what we're proud of in 2025. So maybe let's do that first before moving on. And do you want to just go first and then I'll go next on all the things that we listed?
Yeah, I am happy to. So, it's interesting because the things that I'm proud of kind of relate to some of the things that we just talked about. So I wrote that I do feel like I am more present in my relationships, and I do feel like I'm proud of the I guess the strides that I've made in being more present and in appreciating the moments. Like, being present in moments is also really easy to lose track of. Like, so many people go to concerts and they just film the entire thing, and then you have that memory on your phone, but do you remember it with your eyes? Right? Do you remember it through the lens of your phone, or do you remember through the lens of your own eyes? And so I felt like I was really good about appreciating the tiniest and the biggest moments that I experienced throughout 2025. I also wrote here that I felt like I did open up this year, and I did make progress in finding my person, albeit smaller, but like, we don't have to make huge leaps and bounds to be proud of what we did. And so I'm proud of that. And also the kind of the small moments that I had within that too, like of being present. I put travel.
Okay.
Look at how weird this is.
I know.
Without me knowing.
I was just going to say, and you said that you didn't remember what you had set. Your
I literally did not remember a single thing. I thought I did, and then you didn't read them off, like any of the ones that I thought, and I can't even recall what they would be right now because we've talked about so many other things. But yeah, all the travel and the excitement and the experience and beauty that I got to see. And then something popped up out of I should say that I was proud of my Halloween costume also for 2020.
Oh, yeah.
For 2025.
That's a good one.
I was Colonel Sanders. Thank you, Jen Johnson, for that wonderful recommendation of what to be. Because I was going to be Kris Jenner, and then I pivoted to Colonel Sanders and ended up winning the Halloween costume contest. And it was like, that was a really fun, I love Halloween. And so that was a really fun, accomplishment as well.
I mean, you crushed the look too. It wasn't sexy look, but you crushed it.
It wasn't sexy. It was a little hunched over and creaky, but, and then one thing that I did not expect to happen last year that did happen is, by trade, by professional, whatever, I do a few different things. And one of the things that I do is produce events. And there is, historically, I've helped we don't have a proper Pride organization in the Valley that we live in, but we do have, there's a couple nonprofits that throw Pride events. And so I always want to help do that stuff. One of meaning Katie and my favorite performers that we've seen together is Jessica Lahore, who's one of the best entertainers I've ever seen. And she is a drag queen from Denver, Colorado. If you're in Denver, please go to Hamburger Mary's and see her. She is so good. Quick plug. But over 2 years ago, I brought her to this area for a drag show, and it was this huge success, and it was so wonderful. And then this past year I was gone, and I was thinking that same organization was going to kind of continue what had been built and just do another version of it or do it again or whatever. And they didn't end up doing it. And so once I got back from my travels in the summertime, I thought, you know what? They didn't do it. Just because it's not Pride Month doesn't mean we shouldn't do this. And
Absolutely.
so we did, and brought together some really amazing humans, and we had support from all angles and pulled off such an amazing drag and burlesque show. It pretty much was just drag, in my opinion. But
there's one burlesque performer,
but that was the conduit in which after that production, we called it Slay Sun Valley with a bunch of A's, SLAAY, or maybe it was 3 A's.
Yeah.
And so then we I was with one of the supporters who helped bring that production to town, and I think we might have been out and about, and she said to me, Nani, we need to do just a burlesque show. And so fast forward, some time goes by. I had thought about it, but I'd been busy because of my new job and all these other things. And I was like, okay, well, keep it in the back of the brain. I don't know that I have the bandwidth to do right now. And then out of nowhere, I don't know, I just got this weird feeling that, like, we just need to do it. Like, we just got to do this. And so with, like, very little time to spare, put together a burlesque show for the day after Christmas here in our same valley, Sun Valley. And then somewhere in between this whole time, I had a couple conversations with a mentor of sort for me. And I was telling him about the success of Slay Sun Valley and how much money it had raised, and all the money for the events that I produce get donated back to nonprofits within our valley. And so, oh, thank you.
Bravo.
I feel like, that's so nice. I feel like I'm on a soapbox over here right now, but I feel passionate about it. And so, anyways, we were talking. And I said, I don't want this to be like Nani Presents, because it felt too weird, and I don't want to put my name on it in that way. I wanted some entity in which people could say, oh, it's one of those events. And so he came up with the idea of calling it Events for Good, which is so ridiculously simple and almost kind of dumb that, like, it works. And I said to him, I was like, you know what? That tells you exactly what it is. It's an event, and we're doing good with the event. So so that entity was formed. If you want to follow it, it's Events for Good SV, at Events for Good SV, and SV as in Sun Valley. And so anyways, ended up producing this burlesque show that so the Slay Sun Valley was sold out. Events for Good did this second thing with the burlesque show. We called it like a Sun Valley Serenade, something like that.
Yeah.
Or a serenade in Sun Valley. And that we put the first show on sale, and it sold out within 48 hours, under 48 hours.
Yeah, wild.
So, which was so awesome.
Yeah.
And then we put on a second later show the same day, just later in the evening. And then that one sold out as well. And so between those two productions, Slay Sun Valley and Sun Valley, a Serenade in Sun Valley, we ended up donating $21,000 back to our nonprofit community.
Again.
It just makes me so happy.
It is. It's amazing.
Selfishly, we both know this, and I talk about it openly. I'm bringing events to town, to this area that I want to see, that I want to go to, that I want to be a part of. And the hope is that other people feel the same way.
Well, and of course they do.
And so it's been so cool to see. And so we're going to keep going with this. We're going to do more, and I want to do more. So yeah, that was a very unexpected thing to happen in 2025. And I'm very proud of it, because it should be. We're doing good, and we're creating good. So
right.
Yeah. So sorry, that was a little long-winded, but I just had to share that.
So are those all of your things that you're proud of for 2025?
I'm proud of a lot of other things too, but
I didn't mean like
talk. I feel like I've talked about a lot, so we can end it at that for now. I'm sure you're going to say something and be like, "Ooh, I'm proud of that too." But what about you?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of brought this up today, so I did first couple things that popped into my head. One of the things that happened in 2025 that I'm proud of is that I had my first argument in front of the Idaho Supreme Court, which
you did.
I did not win, but I did it, and just getting one under my belt, I think is important. And doing that within my first 10 years of practice is also significant. So
that's huge. I don't have two hands because I'm holding my mic, but I'm clapping.
So I did it. And the next time, hopefully it won't be as scary, and maybe I'll be a little bit more successful. But you can't always win, and you have the facts that are given to you. And I feel like I did the best that I could with what I was given. But I'm proud that I did it, and that's a big thing that I didn't necessarily think I'd be doing within my first 10 years of practicing as a lawyer.
It's a huge deal.
And then the other two, because we talked about doing like three things, the other two things kind of wrap into each other, I think. But I was just thinking about 2025 and, I was kind of struggling with feeling like I was losing myself a bit for part of the year. And part of that is, being a wife, being a mother in a high demand job. Part of me was feeling like I was just like losing me. And so I feel like especially like the last quarter-ish of the year, started to like stand up for myself more, which I don't even know if that's the best way to phrase it, but like kind of set boundaries and stand up for myself and started going back to therapy. So that's kind of the two things. I was like going back to therapy and like standing up for myself. But I feel like there's a better way to say that than standing up for myself.
No, I get what you're saying though. That's so important. I feel like I'm constantly working on that. But I don't know what the other word would be for it.
Yeah. But I just, that was kind of what hit me, I guess, for 2025 is going back to therapy. I want to mention it because we're obviously both proponents of therapy, and there shouldn't be like this weird stigma around it. Like, I think it's beneficial for every single person on the planet, some more than others, but you don't have to be dealing with the trauma. You don't have to be dealing with anything dramatic. Like, it's just so helpful to have a sounding board, to have a professional to help you like reframe things or think about things in a different way or validate your feelings or whatever it may be. And I've never been against therapy, so I'm not necessarily like proud that I took the step to go there, but like it was time for me to go back, and so I'm proud that I recognize that, I guess. And I'm just feeling like more like myself, I think, and just like, I think I was having some struggles last year with myself and like my identity and losing myself a bit, which can happen in motherhood a lot,
For sure.
And so, yeah, those are my three things.
Well, I'll just say really quickly that hearing you say that, I think when you're really close with a person, you see it. And not that I saw it, but like hearing you say that, hearing you recognize it, and then you taking action, that's a really big deal because so many people will see it, they'll feel it, they'll know they need to do something about it, but they won't do anything about it. And so the fact that you said, nope, like that's one thing that I love about actually both of us is we're doers, right? Like if we say we're going to do something, we're at least going to try and we might fail. But like the fact that you recognized it and said, you know what, it's time again. That's so awesome. Cause it just makes me happy to hear that you're in a better frame of mind or in a better space than you might have been a handful of months ago.
Yeah, well, thank you. And honestly, I mean, I haven't said this explicitly, but that's part of why I needed a break too, was I was just like overwhelmed and there was all this stuff going on and I just needed to kind of like recalibrate. And I just feel better. It was just like, it was becoming a stressor for me, and that's not what this needs to be. So
no.
Those are my things that I'm proud of, and I think we can move into our 2026 manifestations.
I'm proud of both of us, Katie.
I'm proud as well. Yes.
Okay, 2026 manifestations. Who wants to go first?
I'm open. Well, why don't I start unless you really want to?
Do we want to go one for one or we want to read the full list?
I think it's kind of nice to go back and forth.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. Because I feel like this kind of, my first one is kind of spillover of what I was just talking about. So I do feel like I'm like a little bit recalibrated. I think that's a good word for it. And I'm also feeling like 2026 is going to be like a year of refreshing things. So I wrote like year of changing it up / refresh / embracing the changes. And the first two examples that I wrote were kind of silly, but like, as you know, the CPA that I've used for the last few years like moved on into a different field, so I have to get a new CPA, and the hairstylist that I've used for the past few years is not able to cut hair anymore, so I have to get a new hairstylist. But like those are kind of silly examples, but we're only a few weeks into the year, and those are two things that have happened this year already. And again, those two things were like, I'm just going to embrace it. I'm going to enjoy the change. I broke my glasses. I need to get new glasses. I think I'm going to chop all my hair off. Not all of it, but like a good portion of it. And it's
Does Travis know yet?
not really, unless he heard us talking about it the other day. But I also do this every few years. Like I grow my hair out really long and then I chop it. So stay tuned. That's coming up. By the time this episode comes out, it should be very much chopped off.
Oh my gosh.
Also, like my daughter is in a different class now. That happened this year. Like she moved up. I also wrote, like, we bought a bunch of new furniture for the house. Like, it's just, I feel like it's just time for like an overall refresh on a lot of things. And so that's what I want to do this year. And I want to embrace it and embrace change, even if it's not like change that's my choice, which is like the CPA and the hairstylist, which are neither of those are like huge deals. But, but I just want to embrace change and embrace and refresh. That's my intention.
Well, I love that you said this. I just have to say a quick couple things about it because we are still technically in the year of the snake as it relates to the Chinese lunar new year, like lunar calendar.
I thought about, like, you've made these comments before, and I was like, I think that this ties in directly with it, even though I don't know for sure. So
yeah. So the year of the snake was all about shedding and letting go of things that like didn't suit you or didn't give, you know, but it's a lot of shedding. So we're still in we're in the last like little bit of the shedding. And this is maybe a little woo of me, however you want to think about it in your own way. But I do believe that I do believe in a lot of this stuff. And so we're going from the year of the snake into the year of the horse. And the year of the horse is all about progression and like moving into power, moving into just like getting things done and forward momentum and all of these beautiful things. So a lot of people are going to have like a really big year ahead for them. And so I actually, instead of doing New Year's intentions and whatnot, I'm saving it for the eve, which is February 16th, going into February 17th. Okay. I'm going to do like a little something. We should do it together. I've talked about it with a few friends. I think you were probably there for it, but, and we'll probably talk about it on the next podcast episode. But hearing you say this totally plays into like we're in the final stages of shedding. Like get rid of that old furniture. You know, like it's time for new beginnings. This is exciting, Katie.
Yeah,
new hair, new glasses.
Yeah,
and new's not always better, but like. These things are showing themselves, like the fact that your glasses broke, it's showing, you need new glasses.
Sure.
No,
okay, I had thought about that because you've talked about this year of the snake thing, which I don't follow at all, but I was like, I'm pretty sure this like fits in pretty closely to what she's been talking about.
Oh, 100%, no question.
So what was your first intention or one of them?
How many did you do, by the way?
Like 4.
I should maybe go 2 for 1 is maybe
okay.
Unfortunately, but I think they're all important. But so my first one, which is really simple and straightforward, is create and sell a Hallmark style rom-com script.
Okay. Well, and you're on the move for that already.
This is a very tangible thing that I want to do. I've wanted to do it for a while, but this is the year that I feel like I need. It's not need, but I just have this urge inside of me. And I just need to follow that. And so I already signed up for a screenwriting clinic. It's 5 weeks with a professional writer who has written and sold scripts to the Hallmark network and other networks and like Netflix and stuff. And so I'm hoping that this is a really promising next step into learning and also putting myself in the right situation or right scenario or in front of the right people to get seen, in the hopes of if they think it's a good idea, hopefully it takes on a life of its own, which kind of follows into this next one. I'm going to go 2 for 1 if that's okay for you.
Yeah, totally.
Next one
I guess let me comment that I mean, I know that this has been on your mind or however you want to say it for some time, and you've written a script years ago. So I love that you are taking intentional steps already to do it. And it does seem very achievable. My question is, what if it's not Hallmark? Like, are you going to throw it out to others, or does it have to be Hallmark?
That's why specifically I said create and sell a Hallmark style rom-com.
Gotcha. I missed that.
Script. So yeah, it's kind of what you would imagine when you think of a Hallmark style like script. But like it could go to Lifetime, it could go to Netflix, Amazon, to anything. Like I don't really care what it is, and I don't care how much. I mean, I guess I do care how much it sells for, but like I'm more so just interested in figuring out if I can do something that somebody else is interested in.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Totally.
And I think the term selling it gives it a sense of validity. So yeah, we'll see.
That's great.
And then this next one says, follow my intuition and act on desire. And so in a way, it actually very much relates to, I've got this desire and I'm listening to it and I'm saying, you know, like, let's go for it. So I think that this second one has many meanings, but as it relates to the Hallmark script, like that is a kind of a very simple example of, you know, follow my intuition and act on desire.
I love that. That's a good intention to set for anybody. Like, I think that could go around. For some reason, my mind took me somewhere else for a moment, though. Like, acting on desire maybe is not what like married people should do. Is where my mind went. But I don't even know if I should say that.
I'm single. Yeah. So
you could get yourself into trouble if that's the case, I guess. But no, I don't know why my mind went there.
It's because the word desire is, I specifically use that word on purpose for me. Because it has so many meanings. And so I like a word that has a lot of depth to it. And so that's why I chose it.
Right. Okay, well, great. I love that.
What's your next one?
So I guess it's mine. So mine is kind of a spillover, which I was starting to say closer to the beginning of the episode. It's about travel. Like I feel like we go on a lot of the same types of trips, and they're great trips, but I really want to branch out more. And I think we are doing that. I mean, you and I started out the year literally on January 1st, flying to Vegas to go see Backstreet Boys at the Sphere. So that's a great start for the year in terms of travel. But I do similar intention to last year. Like I want to do more either like husband and wife oriented trips or even family oriented trips. And we are working on it. Like we are planning a trip to Hawaii in March over spring break, which is so when I just said family oriented, I meant with our daughter. We are going to Hawaii because I have family there. But the way that trip is going to work, we are going to have quite a bit of just like our core family time, our
nuclear family.
Yeah. And like, that's a win for me. I want to do things like that, whether it's more husband and wife oriented or like us three doing things together. I just think that we are both social people, Travis and I, and we like to travel to see other people, and that's all great and wonderful. And I'm not discounting that whatsoever, but I want to make it more of an intention to do more travel focused on us and or our daughter. And at some point, that's going to be like a Disneyland trip, but I don't think we're there yet.
No, I feel like she wouldn't. She might not remember it at this point. She's too young.
No, she wouldn't. But the other thing I wrote with this was, again, looking at my like 2016 year, it was quite a bit of travel, and I was more, free then in a lot of ways. But like in 2016, I went to Vegas, I went to Palm Springs. I was not living in Sun Valley, but I did several trips here because Travis was living here. I went to Bali that year. Like that seems like a pretty big year of travel for me, and that was my first year full year out of law school. So that's my intention. It's kind of a spillover from last year, slightly modified. And I do feel like we travel a fair amount already, but I just want to kind of be more intentional about traveling for us.
Yeah. And I think a lot of your travel too ends up being regional. And I think what I'm hearing is you want a little bit more travel that might be a slightly further distance away with the family. So
just new places.
Yeah, new.
Like, I like to go to new places. We go to a lot of the same places, which is great, but new places for sure. And part of the regional travel is like we often take our dog, and we drive a lot of places.
Yeah. We went to Walla Walla.
Walla Walla's great. I do love Walla Walla.
Same.
Happy to go back. So, okay,
Me too.
what are your next two?
Okay, so speaking of carryovers, these are definitely carryovers. So one of them says to continue to nurture my relationships,
Love it.
and that's a blanket statement. And then
You're very good at that.
Thank you. That's very nice. I don't think that I'm as good as I would like to be, and so I think that there's definitely aspects in which I can kind of alter and kind of prioritize different things. And then the other one is staying present and staying in the moment. And
Okay.
so, yeah, and I said soak in the moments, but it's like staying present and staying in the moment in the sense that, like I said earlier, these are carryovers as well, that I think I'm doing a better job, but I can always continue to do that better or more present or whatever it may be. So interesting that we both have a couple carryovers there.
Yeah, it's also, I feel like kind of standard, like New Year's intentions, like travel more is something that people say a lot. That's why I tried to be a little more specific about it.
Yeah. What's your next one?
Okay, my next one is, so I don't know. This is kind of different for me. Well, not really. Like it's very typical of like a general New Year's resolution. What's different for me is the last couple weeks I've been kind of feeling the age thing, and neither of us are old. We're not, but I'm
older than you.
You are a couple years older than me, but for some reason it's been kind of hitting me, and I'm just like, I've been thinking to myself like, oh my God, I'm almost 40, which that's still 3.5 years away, but but it feels close, and that is not usually something that I worry about. But to that end, I want to take better care of myself. So that's why I was like, this is very typical of like a New Year's resolution. I want to just take better care of myself. And I've talked about before, I think yoga is really good for me. I want to do more yoga classes. So I'm going to set the intention to do that. That is an easy thing that I should be able to accomplish. And I want to eat more vegetables because I feel like I don't eat as many vegetables as I should. But in addition to like just a better health routine, and I am intentionally keeping that kind of vague. I don't want to be like, I want to lose 20 pounds. I don't want to do that to myself. I just want to be more intentional about taking care of my body and my skin. That's the other thing that's been kind of hitting me lately. I'm just like, I think I need to. I had a facial with our friend Annabelle a while ago, and I told her, I was like, I think I need to do a better job with my skin because I've been doing the same thing for God knows how long, since I was in my early 20s, and like it's probably time to refresh and change it up. So like, what do I need to do to take better care of my skin? And like the neck and chest like aging
Décolletage
thing,
or whatever they call it.
yeah, that the women get. I'm like, what do I need to start doing there? So better health routine, better skincare routine is to summarize that.
That's just like self-care.
Yeah.
Mental, physical, however you want to think about it. That's just self-care. It's funny that age is starting to hit you because that makes sense. That's about I would say that was the age that it started to hit me. I mean, I'm not 40, but it is freaky. Like the idea of that age really messes with your brain, and it messes with my brain at least because my mind and my body and my age they're not in alignment with one another. And so I feel and act a lot younger, I think, than I am. And I think that in that sense, age is just a number. But at the end of the day, we do have a number on our birth certificate. And so it does it messes with my brain. So
yeah. Well, maybe it's hit me because, as you know, like 4 or 5 days ago, I woke up with this horrible kink in my neck and shoulder where I like couldn't even turn my head. And that I've gone to get a massage for it, and it's much better now. But this has happened like every 6 months. This is the third time it's happened, approximately every 6 months. I'm like, what is going on? This has never happened before. And now it's like a 6-month thing where I wake up with this horrible kink in my neck. So maybe that's why it's been hitting me.
Yeah, and I feel you on that. I mean, I could go down an entire rabbit hole on all of it, but we don't need to go through that. But I'm with you. So it's interesting that you say that this isn't an intention, because I've already kind of implemented it for my thing, but I've had to start doing time blocking because of the nature of and so this time blocking that I've done, because I have a very flexible schedule. It's like, if I don't time block, I'm not going to get it done.
Yeah.
And so choosing to go take a walk, or choosing to go like setting up 4 hours of work time, then setting, an hour for this, an hour for that, or whatever it may be. Like, I've had to be really intentional about it. So I didn't put it on this list, but I'm with you on that. Self-care is huge.
It is. Okay, what's your next couple?
Well, this has to do with self-care.
Okay.
It is, I feel like I skipped one. Maybe I didn't. Speak kindly to myself and notice self-criticism without letting it take over.
Okay.
And so something that we know about me is I'm critical towards self.
Yes.
It's something that I've always dealt with. Some days are louder, some days are not. It's not even there. And I think with the help of therapy over the course of years, it's really muted that self-critical nature, but it still rears its head from time to time, depending on what's going on in my life or whatever it may be. And I mean, maybe you can even hear it when I talk about age and whatnot, but I think that just being very cognizant of when that voice pops up and being kinder towards myself. So there's that.
That's great. And you should be, because you're amazing. And there's no reason to be as self-critical as you are.
You were so nice. Don't make me cry over there.
Okay.
And then the other one, since we're going 2 for 1, sorry.
That's okay.
Is stay an open book, but let others' opinions roll off of my foundation. So I have like a foundational, belief, and I think part of it parlays into this. I've used the word parlay way too many times in here, but it relates to the last thing that I said, in the sense that the self-criticism sometimes can get into a bit of a cycle for me. And I'm a very open book about my life. I share a lot with others, with my friends, with, on the podcast, whatever it may be. And sometimes I will get feedback that make me feel like that I should be even more of an open book, or I should be even this. And so sometimes it can lead to self-critical thoughts. And that's okay, because I think checking yourself and making sure that you're being a good human towards others and towards self is a good thing. But what I don't want to let it do is like shake any of my foundational beliefs or any of my foundational thoughts. And so some of those things have come up. And as it relates to dating, one of those things have come up in the past where it's like, it's okay that I made the choices that I did not to go out on specific dates with specific people, because I was trusting my intuition. Mm-hmm. In the time, I thought to myself, oh no, I should have done that. I should have done that. And I'm like, no, it's okay that I made that choice. It's okay. Back to this, like, not letting things shake my foundational beliefs. And so again, therapy helped me get there. Not there all the way, but trying to be thoughtful about it.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like you're like, trust yourself. That's kind of what I just heard from you. Like, you just, you want to trust yourself more. And I think that's great. And that's something that everybody could do better as well.
Yeah. For sure. What's your next one?
How many more do you have?
2.
Okay. This last one that I wrote is kind of silly, but I wanted to write it. So it's to, and I've said this to you already. Consolidate my subscriptions. It's my intention, and I've started to, but I still have work to do there. But it's just, I feel like it's gotten out of control with like all the things that I'm subscribed to, whether a lot of it is streaming services, right? I'm talking about Netflix, Hulu, HBO, Apple TV, Peacock, Prime Video, like so many things. And I have started to like cancel, or you can just like pause your subscriptions, especially if some of it I hadn't been using for months. You can also consolidate and bundle them, especially if you have like Verizon offers bundle packages with different streaming services. So that's what I really need to do next. But it takes time, at least for me, to like make a priority to do that. But once you realize like how much money is going out the window every month or on an annual basis or whatever for things that you don't use, it's just like,
it's crazy.
I need to. So that's a reminder to everybody too. Like, look at what you're paying for and cancel it or consolidate them if you can.
Or negotiate the price on them, right? I think SiriusXM is a great example.
Oh, yeah.
Negotiate the price, get it lower, or your cable company, or your telephone bill, or whatever it may be. That's such a good reminder. Except don't get rid of Peacock, because I use your account and Traders is back on.
Yeah, well, no, I've watched the first couple episodes of Traders. I'm behind, but I don't know where you're at. So I definitely won't be getting rid of that until at least that season is over. But I don't really use it for other things, so I probably will. But it's also, you can cancel it and then renew it at a later date, you know?
Yep, exactly. No, I'm joking about it, obviously. Like, I can get my own Peacock account, but the reality is that I use your Peacock account for Traders only.
Yeah.
And I'm obsessed with it, and it's back on. And we'll probably talk about it on the next episode, because I can't talk to you about it yet because you're not caught up to where I am. I am current.
Okay. I will be soon, hopefully, within the next week. That's my plan.
Yeah. Oh, and that is far from a silly intention. That's a really good one, and I think a lot of us should be doing the same thing.
Yeah. It's just like, sometimes it gets out of control, man. And you're just like, I'm paying. I had an app on my phone that I was paying for on an annual basis, which was like an app that I was using for my daughter that I haven't used since she was like 6 months old. And I was like, oh, cool. So I've spent, $150 in the last 2 years even, and I didn't even know I had it anymore. Like, I thought I had gotten rid of it. So anyway, reminder to everyone.
Yeah, actually, and it goes beyond that. It goes to all subscriptions, gym subscriptions, like there's, or like storage units, or anything that's like a reoccurring thing that you pay for. Like, if you've been storing the same stuff for 10 years and do you have a plan for it? I don't know.
Do you need it? Maybe it's time to go through it and get rid of some stuff. Like your RV, frankly.
Oh, God, I forgot.
Frankly.
I forgot about my RV. See, that is such a bad thing. Ugh.
Yeah,
I need to take care of that this year. I think so too. Sadly, it is sad because I love that thing and it was a beautiful project. But if you want to find out about more about my RV renovation, find me on TikTok. I went viral. Okay, so my last two are to celebrate my efforts and choices, even if they're messy.
Yeah, that's great.
And even if they're small.
Yeah.
So it's in the sense that, like, if even a small effort is worth celebrating because you put energy towards it.
Right.
So yeah, there's that. And then the other one is, thank you. Give myself permission to be imperfect and always enough.
I think that's great for you, and knowing what I know about your mind.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's perfect. I think that's perfect. Like, we are enough, and there's no reason to think negatively of yourself. I don't know. I don't have the words right now for what I'm trying to say, but I think that is perfect.
Yeah, and I don't know that it's like negative, like negatively towards myself, because I think I have a healthy balance of kind of positive and negative. I stride the line, but we know that, like, I am self-critical. Sometimes it's a superpower, and sometimes it is a demonizing power, right? Mm-hmm. Like, so I think that there's beauty and positive and negatives to, like, all different attributes of a human, and sometimes they take control over, like, the positive takes over, or the negative takes over. And so being aware about all that stuff, and but I just, like, really giving myself permission it's like, I Being imperfect and being enough. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So yeah. And then of course I have other ones too that, you know, I want us to continue to succeed and continue to make strides and all that stuff. But I think that kind of goes without saying. This I went more personal.
Yeah.
I went more personal with my stuff, all of my intentions, if you will, for 2026.
You did. And I feel like I went kind of conceptual for a lot of mine, like, or just like overarching. But that's just what I was feeling.
That's what I was feeling too.
Yeah, you gotta just go with what you're feeling and consolidate.
You want to feel the rush.
Yeah.
You want to feel alive.
Yeah. Consolidating subscriptions is really important to me right now. But Verizon does have bundle packages, so you can save money. Like if you're paying for 3 different streaming services, you can bundle them all and pay like half as much. So
we're not
FYI.
sponsored by Verizon, but it sounds like it right now. Unfortunately for both of us, we're Verizon girlies.
Well, that's just kind of the nature of our area. That's like the best provider we have.
Yeah. Yep, exactly.
But that was so great. So that was a little recap of our 2025 intentions and 2026 intentions moving forward.
I'm excited for the year to come. I think it's going to be a really great year. I think the year of the horse is going to be pretty epic. I think that we are going to make big strides individually, together, professionally, personally. I have a really, really great outlook on 2026. It's also the year where if you add up all the digits, it's a 1. So it's 2026. 2 plus 2 plus 6 is 10, which is 1. And so if we want to talk about numbers and me getting all sorts of extra about it, if we have a 1 year and I am very connected to 1s and 11s and seeing 111 or 1111 or whatever it may be, I'm excited for this year to come.
It's going to be a great year.
Thanks for letting me get woo-woo.
Yeah, I mean, you can, I'm not as woo-woo, but you are free to talk about it.
Yeah. Is there anything else that we wanted to touch on, or should we? I think we have a few little things that we wanted to talk about as it relates to emo news, because we're only 20-ish days into the year, and there's already been so many big things happening in the emo world that like we wanted to quickly touch on it, and we're planning on touching like generally on some emo happenings every episode.
Yeah, towards the end of the episode.
Yeah, we have generally the same structure, but we've added we've made a specific area to talk about emo news for every episode going forward.
Yeah, and I am unprepared for this segment, but hit me with it.
Oh yeah, I got you. First and foremost, Yungblud. Oh my God, if you want to talk about your reaction when you saw Backstreet Boys popping out of the stage at the Sphere, my reaction when Yungblud came on stage when I saw him in Boston was that of Beatlemania. It was a sound that I didn't know could come out of my mouth or out of my body. And so to say that there is a appreciation and love for this performer would be an understatement, but he is down under, and he also showed us his down under for lack of terms, because he went to Australia and he's killing it down there. He's selling everything out. I think his record went #1. He's doing all sorts of he's bartending at a bar. He's just like creating these very viral moments. Mm-hmm. But he got naked on the back of a boat, and a lot of photos were taken. And I haven't seen his actual, nude photo, but there is nothing left to the imagination because there were no clothing pieces on his body. Maybe a hat. I can't remember. Maybe sunglasses.
I don't feel like he's a hat guy. I don't know.
Sometimes we'll wear like a newsboy cap.
Okay.
From time to time.
Well, yeah.
So all I have to say is, as it relates to emo news, Yungblud bared all down under.
Okay, what's the next one?
I could not talk about it without talking about him.
I know.
So then the Academy is very exciting. So they've been on a tour celebrating their 20-year anniversary of Almost Here. So I think they called it the Almost Here 20th anniversary tour, something like that.
Okay.
And they extended dates on it. They're not going to be in Boise, but they will be in Portland and Seattle May 1st and 2nd. But what has been going around the internet like wildfire is they shared that they're putting out a new record called Almost There, not Almost Here, but it is obviously like the play on the Almost Here, and and so it's their first. Oh wait, sorry, it's their first new music since 2008. I already said this, but I'll say it again. The album is called Almost There, and the new single is called 2005, and the album is coming out March 27th.
Yay! I'm excited for that.
Were you an Academy Is fan? I can't remember.
Not hugely. No.
I loved them. I saw them. I've probably seen them 7 or 8 times on my own volition, and then I was on Warped Tour with them. So like I've seen them so many times. William is a really great front man. I think that, or front person. He like lead singer. I should just use the term lead singer. But it's cool to see that they're coming back with, I don't know, a renewed sense of energy, because I think about Yellow Card and Better Days and how they just got their first #1 single. I don't know. It just
so
seems
wild.
like, I know, right?
Yeah, so wild. That blows my mind.
So it's exciting. It's exciting to me that they're coming back. I think it's going to be interesting because they tend to lean more poppy than other emo bands, which is probably why I'm more of a fan of them than you are, as it relates to like the way our listening styles in the emo world. But I think that they might do something really interesting, and depending on the sound, I feel like they have the potential of having a really big moment in their career too.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. The next thing I have, I'm sure you're going to have something to say about, and that is that a new podcast came out called Teen Beat, hosted by Danielle Fishel, who is Topanga from Boy Meets World.
Right.
And the reason why it is something to be talked about in emo news is because Mark Hoppus was the first guest and
did the theme song.
Sure did.
Which I am ashamed to say, I still can't believe that I haven't like watched or listened to the full episode. I've seen some clips from it, but I still haven't done the whole thing. So shame on me, but I will do that. But that's like, that's a great first guess.
Yeah, I think that's an epic first one. And I was thinking about, I'm like, how do they know each other? Like, I wonder how they know each other. And I think it might be Danielle's husband, because Danielle's husband is really connected to a lot of music industry people.
Okay.
He's really good friends with my buddy Nano that you've either met. I can't remember if you've met him or not.
I met him.
But I can't. So I was trying to figure this out. Like, how did that become the first episode? But it might actually be even talked about in the podcast. So
yeah,
I'm sure you'll report back, because I know you probably will listen to it.
Shame on me though. That's been out for like a couple weeks already.
No, I mean, whatever. It's been a like hot start for the new year. I feel like we've just been shot out of a cannon.
True.
And this obviously isn't all the emo news, but these are the things that I was interested about. Thursday announced a tour, and it's called the Full City Devolution Tour, and where they're kind of paying homage to like 3 different records. Did you see this?
I did not.
And one of the people that they're bringing out as support is Chris Connolly from Saves the Day, and I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
And they're going to be in Boise on 4/17, which is April 17th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, just, counting in my brain. But I thought that that's going to be a really cool thing. I, of course, have the Hillary Duff thing in here that I was going to talk about, because I think that she is kind of an elder emo. I mean, she did marry Matthew Coma, who is also like emo adjacent. He's in Winnetka Bowling League. He's also a huge songwriter. He's epic.
Yeah. He's also an online shit stirrer, I feel like.
Oh, for sure. But we need those. We need those, though, because I feel like, generally speaking, he's always fighting for really wonderful rights.
Oh, okay. It seems like he doesn't take himself too seriously. Like
that too.
The times that he's been in the news for stuff that he posts online, like I think it's all just a joke, and I imagine he's just at home laughing about it.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that they must have like a really fun relationship. That's from the outside looking in, because not every relationship is perfect, but they do seem like there's a lot of love there. And I want to say he shared like one of the first times, I think it was like he had a writing session with Hilary Duff and pretty much was like, I'm going to marry that girl.
Oh, okay.
And, yeah, I remember him sharing like some like kind of a look into the first time that they kind of met each other. But okay, and then another tour that is worth mentioning is that the early November and Hello Goodbye are going on tour together, and they're going to be in Boise on March 28th.
So that is during Treefort. Also,
wait, it is?
Mm-hmm. I think it's part of. I was confused about that. I was trying to look that up because I don't know if so the early November is on the Treefort bill, but I don't. I'm sorry. Who's the other band? I already forgot. The Academy.
Oh, Hello Goodbye.
Hello Goodbye. Hello Goodbye is not on the Treefort bill, so I don't know what's. I started to try to figure that out the other day, and then I didn't. But that show is at Treefort Music Hall. Mm-hmm. But the early November is also on the Treefort bill. So are they playing like another show somewhere else as part of Treefort?
I can't imagine. Maybe they just haven't added Hello Goodbye yet. But so for me, Hello Goodbye is the exciting part of that bill. And I would imagine for you, early November might be the more exciting part of that bill. Because is that a fair assessment?
Yeah, I was agreeing with you. I mean, fan of both, but yes.
But Hello Goodbye, I love Hello Goodbye. I mean, the amount of merch that I had of theirs, I love them a lot. So that's exciting to hear that they're going to be part of Treefort. Maybe we should probably talk about Treefort too, but can I give you my one last piece before we talk about Treefort? My last little...
Oh my gosh, I'm wrong. Hello Goodbye is on the Treefort bill. So it's all part of Treefort.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay.
But when I looked it up the other day, I thought they were not. But the early November and Hello Goodbye are on the Treefort bill. So do you have to buy a ticket for Treefort, or can you just buy a ticket to that? I mean, those are the two bands that I'm the most interested in. Knuckle Puck will actually also be there, which I'm interested in them as well.
Yeah, well, why don't we'll have to make a point to reach out to the producers of Treefort and see if we can do a collab. Because I think
Milo Bybee is part of Treefort too. Our good buddy Tyler, who we've interviewed. So have to mention that.
Oh hell yeah, that's so cool. Yeah, Milo Bybee. Okay, well, that's
anyway,
awesome.
sorry.
Well, that's okay. We'll definitely have an update on Treefort probably on the next episode as well. But the last thing that I have here, and the reason why it means a lot to me, is Emo Night Nashville is having its 10th anniversary, which is crazy because it was my friends that created that. And so they're doing a 10th anniversary celebration in Nashville. It's going to be on Valentine's Day. Ace Enders is going to be there. Scene Queen, Travie McCoy from gym class. Like, just I think it's going to be epic and very much like a iconic evening. I keep using the word iconic, but I'm sad that I won't be there for it, but I wanted to give them some love because it's a pretty cool thing that they've built. And here we are 10 years later. You referenced this thing about this 2016 trend, like a decade of time.
Yeah.
It's, 2016, it was this tiny little thing that people cared about, but not really. And here we are 10 years later, and we'll call it the scene or emo or all of this stuff. It's having this resurgence that is very much bigger and better, and it's only getting bigger. And I think the love and want for bands and not I don't know, rock music has never been more sought after than I think now, from my perspective.
Yeah, I agree. I think rock is back. Like full and like different but rock is a very big name to describe a lot of different types of music.
Yeah.
Was that the last? I do have a couple things that I can say that's for emo news.
That was my list.
Yeah. One is that like in mid-January, Halsey brought out Adam Lazzara in New York City. to sing cute without the E, which is, that's a big stage for him to be on. Like, and Halsey's definitely like an alt rock indie gal, but like I wouldn't go to a Halsey show and expect this.
No, but she does have like emo roots though.
Yeah.
So
she definitely does, but I wouldn't expect to see Adam Lazzara at one of her shows.
And you're making me question myself. Do I pronounce his name wrong? Is that because I've always called it Adam Lazzara? I've always called him Adam Lazzara. So now I'm curious.
Lazzara?
Yeah, Lazzara.
Oh,
Adam Lazzara.
Lazzara is probably right. I don't really know.
Tomato. But yeah, that would have been so awesome if I was in the crowd. I would have loved that so much. I bet the energy was probably crazy when he came out. Yeah. I hope he did his tricks.
Oh, he always does, and he doesn't sound great too. So
definitely doesn't sound. You need the tricks shtick if you're not going to sound so hot.
Yeah, that's his shtick. And then the other thing is Green Day has been announced as like the opening act for the Super Bowl.
Excuse me, what? How did I miss this?
Yeah, that just happened. Like, they're not like the halftime show. That's Bad Bunny. You know, that's huge news. But like, they are performing right before the Super Bowl. So that's going to be cool to watch. I probably will not watch the Super Bowl, especially because Travis will not be in town, unless we want to have a girls get together to watch the Super Bowl. But I'm definitely going to watch Green Day.
Yeah, I might not be here, but I love the Super Bowl. And for me, the halftime show is my Super Bowl. But hopefully the Seahawks make it in, because the Seahawks are, they've been making some huge strides, and they had a pretty crazy game recently where they beat the Niners. And Go Sports. But I hope the Seahawks make it in, because for us, that is one of the closest major teams to where we live.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I have no idea who's in the running. I don't care. But Green Day's gonna be part of opening ceremony, which, not to get political, because let's not do that, but it is kind of funny that Green Day is openly critical of the current administration. And there's been a big uproar about already like Bad Bunny being the halftime performer, and Green Day kind of swings in the same direction, you know. So I don't know if that's like, I don't know. Was that a choice? Message there, yeah.
Yeah, was that a choice, or was it? I don't know, but I'm here for it. Bring it on. Green Day's going to be epic. Bad Bunny's going to be epic. I know that Bad Bunny. I don't know. I think Bad Bunny is a really awesome choice, because I think he unifies a lot of things in this country, and he is an incredible performer. And my favorite was, he was like, I'm singing in Spanish, so you can either learn Spanish before I perform or just get on board.
Yeah.
Like, I'm paraphrasing, but it was so, yeah, I'm excited.
But you and I, we love halftime shows. I do. I love to watch them. So I'm not really a fan. I don't really know songs of Bad Bunny's, but I'm excited to see it.
Yeah. To this day, I can't remember what year it was, but Katy Perry halftime show, in my opinion, the best of all time.
The best of all time.
Best of all time.
Okay.
The GOAT. Well, as it relates to halftime shows, that specifically.
Right.
I can't say it otherwise. But we should probably get into our emo lyric of the day. What do you think?
They are. Man, we are good at talking. I knew this was going to be a long one because it's our first one back, but
I know it's been a while.
This was great. It's so fun to get back together and talk about it.
I know. I feel the same way.
Do you want to go first, or do you want me to?
I probably should, because I'm probably going to lose. So if you've never listened to this portion of our podcast, it is where we bring a lyric, an emo lyric, if you will. It could be from an emo song. It could be from an adjacent style song, kind of sounding emo. And we read it to each other, because we find that when you read lyrics, they have a completely different meaning than when you hear them sung in a song. Sometimes they go past you and you don't even know what they say. Right. And so Katie had this beautiful idea to do this emo lyric of the day portion of the show, and it has become one of my favorite things, because I don't know, I always choose the winner, and maybe that's what I like about it too, because I get to choose. But generally speaking, Katie's really good at it, and I am not so good at it. So,
well, I also have the element of surprise in my favor, because you know what you're going to say and you don't know what I'm going to say.
You know what? That is true. That is true. But I'll go. So mine is a song called "Dance the Pain Away."
Okay.
by a band called Hot and Freddy, who are on the up and up. I wouldn't necessarily call them emo, but I do think that they probably have some interesting roots that they draw from. And I got to see them when they were here for the film festival, and it was a very exciting thing. But they're so good.
Okay.
But I was listening to them, and I heard part of this lyric, and I was like, oh my God, these lyrics sound like more sad than I was realizing, because the music is very upbeat. And so the lyric goes, has it been a while since you really let go? What's in your heart? What's in your way?
Okay. So the band is Hot and Freddy. Say the name of the song again.
Dance the pain away.
Dance the pain away. Say the lyric one more time.
It says, has it been a while since you really let go? What's in your heart? What's in your way?
So I love that. I assume you chose that because it's a new year, new intention type thing. That's the intention you want to go into 2026 with.
Pretty much. And I could have just said, honestly, thinking about this, I could have just said, what's in your heart? What's in your way? Because I think that's the piece.
I like the whole one. I think you made a good choice.
And then the next line, just because I have to share it, it literally just says, why don't we dance the pain away, which is, of course, the namesake of the song. But it is a very upbeat song, kind of. There's a lot of 80s influence in there, I would say, too, for them. But, they might have written some songs with Matthew Coma from Winnetka Bowling League, which is Hillary Duff's husband, to bring it all full circle. But yeah, I really like the message of those lyrics as it relates to looking into the year ahead of us, which is exactly why I chose it. You called it.
That. It's a good one. It's a good one.
What about you? What's your emo lyric of the day?
I chose a very emo lyric from the band Knuckle Puck, who has been around for a while, but I have only recently started to listen to them, honestly. But they are very pop punk. Like, they're very much my type of band. I just never... They're a little bit like newer wave, even though they've been around a while. And I just, hadn't really checked them out until recently. But it's a song from 2015 on their album Copacetic. It's called Untitled. It also kind of relates to something I was talking about earlier in the episode. So, but this sounds emo. Like, it's very emo. So, the lyric...
You said it's from 2005?
15.
2015, okay.
Yeah. The lyric is, I've been much better, but at least I'm healing.
Wow. Yeah.
Which just kind of relates when I was like, I had some struggles last year and I've kind of recalibrated. Like, I'm not trying to send a signal out, but I just thought that was a great lyric.
Yeah. Yeah. This isn't a cry for help, but you identified with the, I know that I'm not like supposed to do this or whatever, but I think as it relates to this being the first episode, can you read it one more time?
Yeah. It's the song Untitled by Knuckle Puck. The lyric is, I've been much better, but at least I'm healing.
Yeah, I'm calling this. I'm going to say that both of our lyrics are beautifully perfect for this first episode of the year.
What?
And I think that they're both like really wonderful because they both have like such a positive message for the year ahead. It's like, what's in your heart? What's in your way? And you're like, yours is like, I've been better, but I'm healing, right? These are both like journeys.
Well, healing, moving forward, doing better. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I'm calling that. We're starting the year off on a tiebreaker, which is not a normal thing for us here, but I'm calling it for this episode. So Go us. Go team.
Us. Well, which one should we play as our outro, though?
Ooh, that makes a good question. I don't know. Surprise me. It doesn't matter. I like them both. Oh, you know what? Why don't we play them for each other really quick? I'll play mine really quick so you can hear what it sounds like.
Okay.
And then yours should be the outro. I love this Hot and Freddy song so much, and I think that everybody needs to listen to them. I think that they're going to be really big if the industry has anything to do about it. So here's a little
snippet. Hot is spelled Haute.
Yeah. Hot and Freddie. And it's a duo. It's a man and a woman, and she has like bright orange hair, and he has this like really curly, kind of dark brown, almost black hair. And they're just like, they're both characters. Like they're both very vivid characters for a group. They like, their identity is just very thoughtful, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay. But this is Hot and Freddie.
This is very Nani.
See what I mean? Upbeat.
That is very Nani. That's a very Nani song. It's a great
Yeah,
song.
that was a little bit long, but I'm glad that you got to hear it because I love it a lot.
Good. Okay. Well, we'll close it out with Untitled by Knuckle Puck, which this is one of their like slower songs. I think it's a slower start, but maybe it's not. But thank you for listening, and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at the Emo Hour, and tune in for the next episode. We've got lots of cool things coming up.
Yeah, and I'm going to say set your intentions. If you haven't done a list yet, like set some intentions for the year ahead. Join us in our little journey. And if you want to do something as we go from the year of the snake to the year of the horse, we'll probably talk about it next episode. But it's good to be back, Katie. It's great to see your face. And it's great to be back with all the listeners.
All right, here's Knuckle Puck.
Silhouettes on the ceiling. I've been much better, but at least I'm healing. You know I haven't slept since you last, but for me that's progress. For me that's progress.
Okay, bye.
I did not. Hey, bye. I did not expect that to be at the beginning of the song, though. That was epic.
Great. Okay, bye.
All right. See you next time.